Imagining creates reality. Neville Goddard said, imagining creates reality. The question is, what is reality and what is imagination? If you really, really want to be the pilot of your own plane, if you really want to live life on your terms, pay close attention because the next 7 minutes may totally transform your life. Ready? Imagining creates reality. Let's start at the end. Reality. What is reality? Reality is what you experience. Reality is how you experience it. How's that? It's pretty simple, isn't it? But a lot of people get really messed up with this. Is it an illusion? Is it a simulation? Are they real? Neville Goddard said, I'm the only one that's real in my world. No, he didn't. That's grossly oversimplifying and eliminating love. Imagining creates reality. Reality is what you experienced. Reality is how you experience that. You've imagined up something that gives you this message today. This message of hope, this message of faith, this message of curiosity and confidence. Let's shift gears a little bit. Imagining creates. What does Neville mean by create? He says clearly, creation is finished. And he says creation is the act of choosing what goes into your experience, choosing what goes on your plate. My dad and I, growing up, my dad was really big on the buffets, and we would go to the Eden Park buffet, the Ponderosa salad bar and buffet, any new Chinese buffet, we hit that up at some point. And I have all these lovely memories of going with him and having him say, you have to try this, you've got to try that, the walnut chicken is yummy. All these memories of putting what I chose on my plate. I didn't have to cook it. I didn't have to catch it. Didn't have to grow it. All I had to do was put it on my plate. That's all Neville says you need to do. You don't have to construct it. God, imagine having to rewire your house every time you wanted to turn on a light bulb. What you need to do is flick the switch. Because you're the operant power. Neville Goddard says, every desire has its own plan and power of fulfillment. So if you find yourself struggling or getting tired, you are not doing what we're teaching. You're adding in or leaving something out. Because imagining creates reality. Let's talk about imagining. Imagining creates reality. You ever notice how real your thoughts feel? You ever notice how real your emotions feel? You ever notice how real your coffee cup feels? Imagination is what is really real. Imagination is why I've got a coffee cup. Imagination is why I've got a Blue Yeti microphone in my face. Imagination is why I've got an iPad here and I'm using it to talk to you. Imagination is how you experience what you experience. And when you change how you experience what you experience, your circumstance changes. Circumstance, think about this. I love words. Some of you know this, especially you people in a remarkable and dream-driven day. That means circle, what's around you. Stance, the way you stand. You're standing in the world, in your life. I put out a meme the other day. I made this up. I love making up shit that matters. And it basically said something like this. You are not a prop. You are not an extra. You are the star in your life. And something happens when you start to realize that you're the star in your life. Something happens when you buy the pearl of great price. Something happens when you decide, I'm not going to settle, I'm going to soar. You didn't come here to be a reaction. You came here to give life. To what? Imagination creates reality. You came here to give. You came here to give life. Why do you think giving feels so good? Why do you think most people aren't fully alive? They don't give themselves a chance. Years ago, I tried to teach myself Kempo karate. I haven't shared this one before, I don't think. And I was buying magazines, I was buying books, I was doing interlibrary loans. First book I ever bought, full price, retail, brand new, was a book by Robert Trias. It's called something like Karate Do, The Way of the Sword, or something like that. That and Jethro Kloss's Back to Eden. I bought them the same day because I knew I wanted to get healthy, and Back to Eden was all about natural health. And the karate book was obviously about karate, as taught by Robert Trias, one of the old great grandmasters. And I tried to learn the best I could on my own, but I got to be honest with you, I didn't do that good. Because a little touch here, a little point, little tap there, something being pointed out. Hey, look, this is what you're doing. That is what I'm doing. No, it ain't. This is what you're doing. It's listening to someone who's worth listening to makes all the difference. So I started learning Kempo karate with Rick Pockstaller. Rick, Gary, Randy, these people changed my life. Rick was the instructor, Gary and Randy. Randy was a brown belt, Gary was a green belt, and these guys had years of experience. And I ended up blowing past all of them. I got my first degree black belt before Randy did. I got my second degree black belt before Rick did. And I kept going. And here's why I share that. Imagining creates reality. Reality is how you experience what you experience, isn't it? How do I experience this iPad, this microphone? As ways to make a difference in the world. I experience them as the identity of happy, loving teacher. Creates? Well, there are people out there making a difference in the world, and I've chosen to be one of them. Remember, creation is about choosing what goes on your plate. It's because of how you stand that determines the circum in your world. And finally, what is imagination? To me, imagination is how you experience what you experience. And that's what we explore in all of the courses. If you're tired of trying to make a difference, if you want to start experiencing radical differences in your world, join us. We've got a couple things being offered right now. ManifestingMasteryCourse.com, that's our long-term one. We've been doing that one for over a decade now. Often imitated, never duplicated, ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. You can still join us for 2024, joinremarkable.com. Inside of there, you also get $1,000 worth of free goodies. Monthly membership call, small private Facebook group. And if you just want to chat for a few minutes via email, because I don't chat live with people I don't know. I do chat live with people who have done the courses and the trainings like DDD and Remarkable. But you can get my email address as well. Often it's at the bottom of these videos, and it's always at NevilleGoddardStore.com. So listen to this one a couple times. Take notes. Notice how it brings you home. Notice what we don't talk about. Brainwave recordings, chanting, sacred numbers, sacred geometry. You're what gives sacredness to everything. And every moment of your life can be sacred. Thing is, what do you choose? All right. Notice we just snuck it in again. Imagining creates reality. And now, imagine up something lovely as we go into the silence. I would love to hear from you because we took a 3-word quote, imagining creates reality, and explored it in a way that no one ever has. Because this is the way that my mind works. This is the way my day plays. And I would love to know how this is given to you. Reach out. Let me know. Have a lovely day. My name is Mr. 2020, and you've been listening to the Neville Goddard Podcast.